Hi guys, welcome back to the channel. Right, it is time for me to service this aquarium and, whoops, hang on, this one. Right, so obviously all the lights are on timers, so I'm sure I'll get that illuminated by the end of this little video. So that's the little Trio Better tank, which just needs the filter compartment all serviced. That's down the back, all behind of all the media, and a bit of a tidy up of the 3 aquariums, trim the plants, etc., whatever needs to be done. And then the slightly larger aquarium, which clearly those fish would like a little bit of breakfast, needs a gravel cleaned, a filter, internal filter, I think that's an Awazi, internal filter on the back with different types of media and bits and pieces inside. Bit of a clean up of the tank. Right, so what do you need to service aquariums with? Well, a couple of buckets is handy. Couple of cloths is essential, gravel cleaners, those siphons, a small little tub for moving water around, a couple of different size nets, and a selection of algae scrubbing pads. And that is generally what I use whenever servicing any aquariums. Let's get this cover glass off out the way, and that is where a towel comes in handy to stop all that water dripping everywhere. Right, first things first, I'm going to give the top of the tank a bit of a clean, right around all these bits of glass. Do the underside. A little bit at a time. So first thing, right around the sides, and then we'll give the tank a bit of an algae clean. Give all the glass a clean while the filter is still running, the old filter, before it's been cleaned. And then we will drain a bit of water out, and then disconnect the filter and the heater. Give the heater a bit of time to cool down before I remove it from the aquarium. It's easy to smash or cause a heater to go bang for the glass to crack if you don't. And then we'll service all the filter. I'll give all this bit a bit of a scrub first, because dirt does build up. And if it's building up underneath, then your light is going to be affected, because you're not going to get the same amount of light going into the aquarium. It's worth doing all this. But be careful not to put water where it shouldn't go. So be very careful of not putting water all onto the woodwork, because it's only going to rot it out. Right, let's get a rag. I figured while I was doing this, I need that light on so I can see what I'm doing. So I've just switched that light back onto manual. It was on a timer. That's one of the Fluval LED light units. I'll pop up the name on the screen when I eventually do this, because I forget what it's called now. But it's the one that works via an app on your phone. So it's quite a cool bit of kit, actually. Okay. Time to use a bladed scraper. Perfectly fine to use, just be very careful you don't change the angle and scratch the glass, and pay particular attention to the silicone down the edge. Now we need to give that front edge of the gravel clean using a plastic algae scraper. Good thing with a plastic scraper, you can't scratch the glass. Obviously if you've got a bit of gravel in between an algae scraper and the glass, you're going to scratch it, but a plastic scraper, plastic cannot scratch glass. A very effective tool. Time to get those red pebbles out, so I've got more space. That's those pebbles removed, and that's just to give me access to the gravel, so I can give it a little siphon. I'm not going to go mad, because all the nutrients that are building up in the bottom of that gravel is what's feeding all those plants. So you do not need a spotless tank if you're trying to grow plants like that. As I said, you can over clean it very easily. The handle of a net can be handy. I think we'll do a little bit of trimmage of the plants now, get the red pebbles back in, and then we'll service the filter, and we're almost done. Plant trimming scissors. Set that little tub up on the side, ready to put old plant matter in. Let's see what we can do. Where are we going to begin? You look at that and you think, where do I start? Hopefully you can see a difference now. So now we've got a bit of shape to the plants, a bit of space. We come around this corner and now see we've got the young cryptocorn at the front, two bigger ones there, there's another young one there. Tidied this one up, and then what I've done is pulled some of the vallus that was growing all in between everything, and I've just put some cuttings in that corner, and that'll grow up taller and hide the filter in the back. So we'll see how that develops over time. But looking a bit tidier, and just to prove, a pot full of overgrowth. Looks like a jungle, wasn't it? Next step. Right, with a bit of luck, let's get these pebbles back into the tank. I did a little bit more trimmage to create this little planted island in there. So even a few more leaves came out after I chucked all the others in the bin. Now, finally think I've got the shape I was looking for. Now we need to get that filter out the back, which has got the heater inside it. Give that a bit of a clean and get that back in and top the tank up. Then it should be job done. Filter and heater unplugged. I've just pulled the cables round so I can get the bits of equipment out. But something that's a real pain, this filter's suction cupped. You can just see those black suction cups in the back corner there, suction cupped to the back of the tank. And how do you get it off? Because trying to pull that off is very difficult. So, a little algae pad, algae scraper comes in very handy here. So, not as easy to do one-handed, but if you can imagine, I push this down there, and there you go, there's one off already. And then I come a bit further down where the other one is, and hopefully, with a little bit of a gentle push, oh, there goes the second one. That's one side done. Let's see if I can do this one-handed, just to prove how much easier it is. What you've got to be careful of is that you don't push the other side back on. Can you see that top one? Hang on. Get in there. There we go. Not as easy to do one-handed, unfortunately. Right, I'm going to have to put the camera down and we'll come back to this. Tell you what. There you go. Why don't we just look at fishes? So I'm just going to get my right hand on the filter. Pop. Pop. And then the other side. Pop. And the bottom one. Pop. And it's off. There we go. No more struggling to pull it and twizzle it. There's the filter coming in. Quick as that. Right, this is the messy bit. So, look at all that dirt that's just been exposed. Lovely. Right, let's get this over into the tub and give it a clean. To get it over here without making too much of a mess. And as I said, the heater sits in the back of this filter. So slide that out, place that back in there. And then we will take this filter apart. Good thing with this, it's the front part's magnetized to the back. So again, see if I can do this one-handed. To show how easy it is, just pull on there, and away it comes. And that's all the media, and that's the pump. So you could technically leave that bit in the aquarium stuck to the back, but I like to take it out, give it a proper clean. Clean all the pump itself. You've got the impeller cover here and the impeller inside that needs a clean. This top piece comes off. Give all that a clean so that the water can continue to come out properly. And then you've got all these separate chambers. So we've got 1, 2, 3. Got another little chamber up here. We can clean all of those. I think I've got some fresh carbon to go in one of them. So we've got foam in one of them, some ceramic media, biological media in one, and some chemical filtration, carbon in the other. I think I've got another little bit of foam in there. So plenty of mechanical cleaning, biological cleaning, and chemical cleaning. We'll get all that cleaned in old tank water. Always use old tank water because it's warm and not full of chlorine. Give it all a clean as best as you can. Doesn't have to be spotless. And then we'll put it all back together. So clean those bits, and then we'll put the whole thing with the heater reinstalled. I'll give the heater a bit of a clean, get rid of some of the gunk around it, put the whole thing straight back into the corner. I even give these suction cups a bit of a clean so that there's no algae building up around them, so it stays stuck to the back of the tank. Right, let's get that bit done, and then I will snap back to me reinstalling it into the tank. That's the pump bit clean, so that bit there all taken apart. Oops. And the inner housing all scrubbed, and that's where a toothbrush comes in handy, so that's where the impeller sits. And then you've got the compartment, so you've got the impeller, give that all a clean so it gets gunky all over there. The impeller cover that goes on, give that all a bit of a clean, and then the top outlet nozzle, give all that a clean, which sits back on the top. So that's all gone, it's all covered in gunk and waste and detritus. Give all that a bit of tube, a bit of a clean where the heater goes, that's where it sits down there. So, and there is the magnets, 1, 2, which slot on to the other piece there. As you can see, that bit's disgusting. I don't want it to dry out, so I'm working on the clock now, so we don't end up killing off all the useful bacteria that's living within the filter. So that bit's quickly done. Put that to the side. I will reassemble those parts, and then we'll get this messy part done. There we go. Filter all clean. So chamber 1, piece of foam. Chamber 2 has got ceramic media, which goes back into there after a bit of a rinse, and we have a piece of foam over the top. Chamber 3, bag of carbon, and we have another bit of foam that goes over the top of that one, and then this final little one has a bit of foam in there with a cover. Whoops, which way around does that go? I think it goes that way. There we go. And then those all slot onto the top of each other. So let me go bang, 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 bang. We'll reattach it all to this. The heater's back in there, and get it back in the tank. All back together. And this is the fun part. So this little piece just slots back on. Job done. Get that back in the tank. Voila! Back up and running. Got all the flow back, which is good. And I've got it on the spray bar rather than just a single outlet nozzle at the front, so that we've got a spread of fresh water. And that will now get working really well. Much more flow than it was flowing at prior to the clean. Right, let's stand back so you can see it a bit better. There we are. Let's get it topped up and we'll do the final send off on that one. Some fresh water prepared. Little drop of dechlorinator. Perfect. We'll mix all that up. There we go, all done. Cup glass fitted back on, light pulled forward, filter all serviced and up and running. Topped up the tank. I gave the glass a final polish just on the outside and on the inside. Netted out some little bits of plants that are floating around, but there we go, job done. So next service will be sort of 2 months' time. All right, and now a very quick service of this one. So we're going to give just the tanks a quick clean. They really don't look too bad at all. Give the gravel a quick siphon, but yeah, this tank doesn't require too much. It's mainly all the filter chambers. You can see all the algae is building up in there. Biological chamber where the heater is, and then we've got some resin in the end there where the pump is. So just service the mechanics and the media all in the filtration area. Can't change too much water because there isn't much water to start with. So it'll be a quick fire clean and I'll show you the end result. Here we go. Quite extreme, I know, but because it's such a small tank, I removed the pebbles, stones and plants. I've got access because it is so small. And then I can give the gravel a good siphon, which I've done. Removed a lot of debris. Not that there's much coming out, that's just the pebbles there. Now I'll give the glass a quick wipe round. Again, really limited access when it's such a small tank. And then we'll give the filter a clean. So let's crack on to the next stage. As you can see, it's such a small tank. And by lowering the water level, also prevents me from splashing it over the edge. So now I can give, without squashing the fishies, very careful. Just give all the sides a good clean. Right, I'm going to crack on. Same trick. Quick bit of gravel rearrangement. Get in there. So the tanks are back together how they should be. Heater's been dragged out for a bit of a clean. You can see all the muck in there now. I have cleaned the two sponges cleaned the bag of media. All I did was pull them out, rinse them, rinse the media there, and changed over the carbon cartridge. So that's a fresh carbon cartridge. Biological media, that just slides out, giving it clean, put it back in. These are blocks of sponge. Each one of those came out and given a clean, just rinsed out in the bucket that you see on the floor. And then in here is a bag of biological ceramic media. Just little like hula hoops, you can see them there. So that just got rinsed and put back. Then this is the heater chamber. I'll give that a quick wipe down. Then we've got the final chamber with the pump and a bag of resin, which actually the bag of resin looks pretty good. That normally goes dark brown when it's used up. So I'll give that a quick rinse and keep that in there. That helps to absorb a lot of impurities out of the water and lock up excessive nutrients. Ew. You got a really tiny little pump. So if I can hold that, a cotton wool bud is perfect for just getting down, cleaning all those areas. Get the pump. Ugh, look at all that coming. There we go, guys. Job done. That tank's looking nice and clean. Put everything back together. Even cleaned the little magnet cleaner. Put that back on the side. Quite chuffed, quite impressed by how well the plants are doing in that little tank, because it's only got a little light. And then this one's all finished, looking really nice. This was in the evening, actually. Really chuffed with the results. Plants all trimmed back. Job done. Anyway, guys, thanks very much for watching as always, and I'll catch you in the next one. Bye for now.